so soft and fine, and it doesn't have big clumps that I have to throw out. Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. It's a little bit stormy at the moment. Well, actually, it's not too bad right now, but we've got wind and rain going off and on and potential hail, so I'm just getting bits and pieces done. Angus is working on a new interesting building project. I'm pleased to report that the peas have come up. Most of them, the sweet alyssum, are going bonkers. And I obviously put way too many of the seeds in each one. We've harvested some of the lettuces, which is nice. Got more there to harvest, and a few more of the brassica microgreens are coming up, so that's good. I bought some strawberry plants because I really want strawberries again, and I need to redo my strawberry situation. And I bought some red pansies for the veggie garden because I always like to have those. This is the last place I had strawberries planted, in these hanging planters here. I put up this piece of timber. The trouble is these planters are really made to go over a round pole or like balcony, so they just sit on too much of an angle like it is at the moment. And they're so tilted that it's hard to keep them watered nicely, adequately, without the potting mix coming out. So it just wasn't really working, and the strawberries got a bit too dry. So I need to figure out how to improve the situation, either get a wider piece of wood or some sort of shim to go under there. What I would like is if I could find a nice branch the right size, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Something round would definitely be better, but I need to sort something out so I can get my strawberries planted. I really need to get some of these tomatoes and peppers potted up into their own pots. What you're building? A fan. Bigger and better. We've got people coming to pick up our old couches sometime in the near future, so I'm going to try and get these seedlings potted up. I've got more seeds I need to sow. It's supposed to be even more windy tomorrow and the next couple of days, so I'm going to get these tomatoes done first because they really need doing. They're a bit leggy because they've been in the windowsill and not getting so much light, but I just haven't been able to do them sooner. I'm going to do my tomatoes in 7cm pots, which are this size. I used to do everything in 5cm pots, which is the smaller size. And I still do a lot of things in that size, but the tomatoes, I'm trying to do them in these just because they have that much more potting mix and root space to just get a bit bigger before I plant them. This is a 10cm pot, so these are kind of the main sizes I use. 10 centimetres is roughly the diameter across the top of the pot, not the height. 7 centimetres, 5 centimetres. This would be ideal for tomatoes, pumpkins, things that need a bit more space, but I'm trying not to use too much potting mix. That's the only reason I will do it in a smaller one, and because I'm having things sitting on the table which is not ideal either. There's only so much space I've got and so much space that I want taken up by plants. I just disturbed a big cockroach. These horrible dark blackish brown ones. Anyone else have these? This one's not as big as some of the ones we find, but it's definitely not fun when you find these in the house. So this guy's going to go to the chickens. Whoops, you fell down your hole. Amish paste. Uh-oh, these ones are quite leggy. Here's another shower. Very brief shower. The peppers I'm just going to plant in the smaller 5cm pots because they're just slower to grow, and if I need to pot them up into a bigger pot, I could put them into 10cm pots like the red one I showed you guys. Whoa, crikey, okay. This dude is doing well, but he will not fit in the hole. Okay, he disturbed a couple in the process. Oh no! Come back, little rooted one. I'm not sure if that one's doing very well anyway. These are all Jimmy Nardellos in this tree, so at least I'm not going to get them mixed up. Tushito. Uh-oh, I think the couch people might be here. I can hear noises. Okay, back to the seedlings. Man, it is a really good feeling having those couches gone, just having space to move in the lounge and dining area. Again, a bit more space. It's been like a couple months of having 2 lots of couches crammed in while I was trying to sell them, so I'm glad they're finally gone, even though it's sad to say goodbye to our old red velvety couches. Both of the lots of peppers have got good roots on them. It's just hard to get out. The little baby, stay. Okay, so hopefully some of the rest of these come up. I don't know whether some of the seeds have probably got buried, but I can't do much about that. That's alright. We've got more to do, but it's lunchtime and I need to eat, so here's what we've got so far. We're populating the cold frame nicely. So we've got 6 of each of the 2 pepper varieties, Shishito and Jimmy Nardello. And for the tomatoes we've got 1 Albenga Oxheart, 3 Gardener's Delight cherry tomatoes, 4 King's Golds, and 7 Amish pastes so far. And some of them are still growing in the seed trays. Okay, I'm getting back outside a little bit later than I anticipated because after moving a bunch of couches out, of course, we ended up rearranging stuff. I've got some more seeds to sow, but I think I might plant these red pansies out first. where to plant the pansies in the garden. I'm just saving this space for the lettuces. Look what the birds have been doing. I'm just going to pick some corners. I will have Sweet Alyssum to plant in corners too. So I've gotten 2 of the trees planted, which is 12, but the trouble is I haven't got all the beds ready yet. So some of them the soil level's a bit low because I need to top it up. So I'm just going to leave some till later. Inside the gate, I've got one here. This Sweet Alyssum has been here since last season. I've got one in this corner here. I like to have some nice red ones to see when I come in. One of the big ones here. And one of the small ones there. The perpetual beets are still chugging along despite being attacked by the birds. I'm fighting the birds for them every day. I've put one here. So this is the carrot bed that I still need to finish weeding and prepping. And the kids have helped do some weeding in this bed, but that needs to be finished too. Actually, I'll point out the things we've got growing at the moment. Might as well. The sorrel, that's perennial, so that's always there. There's a spinach beets plant there, which is good. All of these kind of ferny looking ones along the edges, those are meadow foam, which are white flowers with yellow centres that the bees love. And we've got orange calendula flowers dotted around the place. More meadow foam. It just self-sows and it likes it when it's a little bit cooler. There's another pansy down here. And we have leeks. I think these ones are all leeks that are kind of self-populating. Over time they've just kind of, I don't know if they naturally do that, but they've just kind of become leeks that divide and self-populate, so that's quite handy. So I don't ever plant leeks anymore. I also have a few in this carrot bed actually. Those ones are leeks and those ones are elephant garlic. We do have elephant garlic that self-populates a bit as well. Actually some of these might be elephant garlic too. This bed's going to have tomatoes again, that needs to be topped up, so I haven't put anything in there yet. We've still got a parsley hanging in there. These are mostly bok choys that have gone to seed, but there are 2 kales that I planted in here too. We've got another pansy in here, a broccoli, another pansy down here, more meadow foam. It's nice to have at least some green things in here. Another parsley still hanging in there from last season. A calendula, another pansy here. This is a boysenberry, which I've never quite finished doing what I was supposed to be doing along here. So I kind of bunged it in there and it's just going rather wild. That's comfrey. This is the bed that needs probably the most attention at the moment with weeds. The arch trellis bed and finishing getting the rest of the beans and tomatoes off. There's at least, I can't remember if there's 1 or 2 parsleys in here from last season. There's still usable parsley, which is good, but it's getting pretty big and going to seed. Some Sweet Alyssum still there. And there's 1 kale over there. Back down here, I've got another pansy here, and the leeks again, and another little pansy down there. So that's it at the moment. Also, there's 1 blackcurrant bush here, and 1 over there, and then those are the raspberries. Hello, Mr. Kereru. Better not eat my plum tree flowers. Okay, back to the seeds. I'm going to sow some lettuces. I think I'm going to sow some lettuces in small trays so they can be pricked out and planted in the garden when it's safe from birds. And I'm going to start some basil. I usually end up sowing basil later when it's warmer, and then it's never ready as soon as I want it. So even though it's still just at the end of winter, I'm going to put it under the cold frame, so it'll be fine. Alright, basils are done. Next, I want to do some lettuces for planting in the garden. I'm going to use just one of these little trays and put 3 varieties of lettuces in there, and when they're big enough they'll get pricked out into a 6 cell pack ready to plant in the garden. So it's not very big, but it's going to fit 3 varieties. And I think I might actually just put some potting mix on the bottom and then top it with the fine seed raising mix. The seed raising mix is just so much nicer and more fluffy. It's just so much nicer for starting seeds. It's so soft and fine, and it doesn't have big clumps that I have to throw out. So what I'm going to do in this tray is I've got a new lettuce I haven't tried before. There are so many lettuce varieties. I'm always trying a new one, at least one new one every year, just because. This one's called Little Caesar, so it's like a small Caesar lettuce, green. And then I've got my red Caesar saved from ones I grew last year. I really like the red Caesar. It takes a while to go bitter. It sort of lasts a bit longer than some of the other lettuces. And then this one was the mixed seeds that I saved from the lettuce bed just inside the gate. Oh yes, this one was saved from the lettuce mesclun mix. Those are the ones I had growing in the lettuce bed just inside the gate of the raised bed veggie garden, and red Caesar, which were dotted around the veggie garden. So I know there are some of those in there too. I don't really need more red Caesar since I've got red Caesar here, but maybe I'll just try and pick out the lighter coloured seeds. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do 1 row-ish. I think these will be pretty obvious which variety they are anyway, because they're red. Not too many. I'm so glad I did those lettuces in the tray on the deck, because it's something that I can eat now, and just nice and soft and young and handy. Whoops, that may have been too many. That's okay. Okay, lettuce mixed. What are we going to do with you guys? Whoops, stop fraternising. Come back over here. There's the green one with purple mottles, which is really pretty. And there's a really nice green frilly one, which I do not know what it is, but I really need to get some of them to go to seed and save seeds from them. That's what I need to do, because I don't know what it is. And I would like to know, and I would like to have seeds of it to grow. Because then I probably wouldn't buy a lettuce mix if I can isolate the ones that I really like and save seeds from them. And then I can just have bags of my own ones mixed, either individual or mixed together. We'll just see how this goes. At least I only used 1 tray. Okay, the last 3 packets that I brought out are spinach winter giant, which I think I want to do a 6 cell pack of those so I can plant some in the garden, and then do some in a big tray. I've got perpetual spinach beets. This is the packet that I bought, I think, maybe 2 years ago. It's actually a microgreens packet, that's why there are so many. Seed for microgreens. I think it was on special at the time, and I thought I was going to use it for microgreens, but I must have ended up planting some in the garden, and I've had them ever since. They're kind of self-populating, which has been super helpful for having leafy greens pretty much whenever. It's not like I'm running out, but I thought I'd actually use some for either microgreens or baby leaf stage by sowing them in the big tray as well. Whoops. And then we've got pak choi red choy, which is an F1 variety, but I really like it. It's a really nice colour. Some good antioxidants. I like to use them at baby leaf stage in salads. So this is actually a seed for microgreens too. It's obviously got more. This is a 20-gram pack. So it's got more than the usual seed packets, but the spinach beets are a 100-gram pack. That's why they're yeah. So what I've done with these in the past is sow them in trays. I think generally in a bigger tray, and then I can just scoop out either clumps or like lines of them and plonk the whole thing into a shallow trench in the garden, and then they'll just grow to kind of more baby leaf small size because they're so closely because they're all so close together. So I quite like doing that, or just use some for either microgreens or baby leaf in the big tray. So I'm going to do some of each of those three in the big tray, probably I'll try and do them in lines, I think, in case I want to do the transplant into the garden. These spinaches I'm going to do a 6-cell pick too, so I can have at least some in the garden. It may seem a bit weird to be using a big chunk of potting mix to grow salad greens in a tray like this when I've got so much garden space, but I feel like I've missed out on quite a bit of salad greens in the past by not doing this, because this way they're so much nicer because they're away from all the pests, pretty much mostly. They are more protected from the weather, and they're cleaner because they're not getting rained on. So even though it's using up a chunk of potting mix, it's a really good way of having salad greens, and also really handy being just right outside the door. So I'm going to try and do more like this. That's spinach. Just do a little bit wider. Maybe I'll put the red pak choi in the middle. They can be the Switzerland. The seeds are actually like a dark purplish, dark brownish, greyish purple colour too. Not too close to the spinach, but I do want to make good use of the space. Rather than just doing these in rows, I'm going to do kind of a thicker band of these. And the perpetual beets, which are big. You can't really mistake these seeds for the others. They're big, knobbly looking, funny looking things. They're so big. And awkward. Just a very awkward shape to hold. Actually, let's just kind of... Whoops! I want these nice and thick because I'm really planning to use them more as microgreens, or quite small, since I've already got the larger ones in the garden. They're just so big. Okay, done. Now, actually, probably want to try to push those down a little bit because they're so big. Maybe I'll cover those with a little bit of seed raising mix. I don't really want to get it on the other ones. Not too much, but... no. Mummy wants that one. I got all the seeds sown that I wanted to, and some of the pansies planted. And just going about things at a slow pace at the moment, which is good. Today's one of the days where I seem to be feeling a bit better, which is good because Steve and I are actually going out tonight to a 40th party. I haven't been out a whole lot lately, and I haven't been out in the evening for a while. Evenings are generally the time when I'm feeling the worst, so hopefully I'll be alright, and it'll be good to see lots of friends anyway. But I need to get moving now and get organised. This one's broody. That one might be a copycat. Thanks for joining us in today's vlog, guys. Choose to grow hope, and we'll see you next time. Bye.